tonight on Ctv3 News. Another traffic sign defaced. The Orange Walk Town Council seeks public help to identify vehicle that damaged a stop sign. Joseph Budna's attorney wants him back in Belize. Court date set for November in his case against the Belizean authorities. Guatemalan authorities recaptured 10 of 20 escaping Barrio 18 gang members. President accepts resignations amid the security crisis. And court applications filed by Jeremy Enriquez are dismissed. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Wednesday, October 15th, 2025.
Looking for quality, tasty, and easy to prepare meals? Look no farther. M&M Frozen Foods, proudly distributed by United Distributors Limited, brings you a wide range of delicious frozen delights, perfect for every occasion. From frozen pizzas, quesadillas, garlic bread, jumbo samosa, cocktail samosas, pizza pockets, spring rolls, and hacken noodles. M&M Frozen Foods is fresh, flavorful, and convenient for busy lifestyles. Whether you're planning a quick dinner, hosting a gathering, or stocking up for the week, M&M Frozen Foods has you covered. Available now at leading supermarkets and stores nationwide through United Distributors Limited. M&M Frozen Foods, extensive variety to satisfy every craving.
Attention farmers, the New World screwworm is a serious threat to livestock, pets, wildlife, and humans. It causes yield losses, damages the quality of meat and skins, and can even kill them if left untreated. Check your animals daily. If you see any wounds on them, treat them immediately. Prevention is key. Apply approved healing and fly repellents to the navel of newborn animals after dehorning, ear tagging, or any other practice that leaves wounds on your animals to ensure your animals' well-being. If you notice worms in unusual wounds, report them immediately. Call Baja at 824-4872 or text or WhatsApp 670-7003 or call your nearest Ministry of Agriculture office. And don't forget, never transport or receive animals with injuries. Together, we will prevent the spread of this dangerous disease. This message was brought to you by Baja, OIRSA, AICA, USDA, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security, and Enterprise.
We are the Public Utilities Commission. Since 1999, we have regulated Belize's electricity, water, and telecommunication sectors, ensuring quality services at reasonable rates for consumers. A lot has changed since our establishment in 1999, and so have we. To reflect our evolution and future-focused vision, we are proud to introduce our new identity, where the blend of colors show our balanced and inclusive approach to regulation, where innovation, sustainability, and trust are all equally important. Orange represents the telecommunications sector and symbolizes innovation and connectivity. Green reflects the energy sector, sustainability, and national growth. Blue represents the water sector, highlighting trust, stability, and life-sustaining resources. White symbolizes transparency and accountability, core principles of the PUC. We are the Public Utilities Commission, transitioning to a new look, but our core values remain the same: accountability, excellence, integrity, innovation, and professionalism. Our logo is more than a design. It is our visual commitment to continue to serve the people of Belize with transparency, competence, and professionalism. We are the Public Utilities Commission.
For sure, this journey started long before September 1981. Indeed, we're all here because of the courage of our founders, the Maya, Creole, Garifuna, East Indian, Mestizo, and all who are sustained by the spirit and sacrifice of every generation. How beautiful it is that on this day, thousands of our citizens will join with friends and loved ones at parades and parties across this country to rejoice in the blessings of this land and people. As one people, we will work to build a better and brighter future.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on FSFM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. The Orange Walk Town Council is asking for the public's assistance in identifying a vehicle involved in a recent traffic incident. According to the council, on Sunday, October 12th, a driver reportedly ran into and broke a stop sign located at the corner of Progress and St. Peter's Streets. The vehicle involved was captured on surveillance footage, and authorities are now working to identify the individual responsible. This incident comes only a few weeks following another incident where a stop sign was vandalized by a group of teenagers. Similar to that case, this recent incident has once again raised concern about these kinds of incidents and the serious threat they pose to public safety.
Compliance. We would like compliance, and we appreciate when people alert us about these things, because this is the only way that this community, this town, can continue growing. Orange Walk has always prided itself in being the very best town in the entire country, and we need to continue working on that. But when we have malicious intentions like these things happening, then you want to wonder what is wrong with some people. This is for the greater good, not just because, we have a select few individuals out of mischief doing something like that, out of peer pressure doing something like that. We have to think about the greater good at all times.
The council is urging anyone with information that could assist in the investigation to contact their office at 380-2053. Officials say the public's cooperation will help ensure accountability and maintain road safety across Orange Walk Town. Joseph Ryan Budna is once again making headlines here at home as his attorney, Arthur Saldivar, has provided an update on the ongoing case Budna has brought against the government of Belize and several others, including the Commissioner of Police. According to Saldivar, the matter is expected to go before the courts in November, marking a significant step in what he described as a case centered on the violation of Budna's rights as a Belizean.
His matter should be in court in November.
Will you all be able to demand that the state take measures to return him to Belize?
We make no demands, we make requests. There is an act, International Mutual Cooperation Act, that allows for it to happen. Application will be made pursuant to that act, and we see where it goes from there.
Saldivar explained that efforts are currently underway to have Budna brought back to Belize to serve out his sentence as the legal process moves forward.
As I said, we are going to be making application to have him be brought to Belize. He would have to reside at the older facility for the duration of his trial. But if that does not, if the powers that be don't comply with the request, then we will see what alternative measures can be made.
So, in the event he is not allowed, whether the state in Belize cannot have that response from the state in Guatemala, or the prison in this case, to bring him here for the duration of trial, what else can you do? You have to hire counsel there to assist in going to the prison and getting...
Whatever has to be done will be done.
The attorney further noted that the case is being handled pro bono as the matter was deemed unconstitutional by the Association of Attorneys. Saldivar also further called on authorities to release a video of Budna's abduction.
The Association of Defense Attorneys see this as a major constitutional infraction and have taken it upon ourselves to do what is necessary to ensure that at least the public recognize that we know that there was a breach in the rule of law.
Would you say that it is suspect that even though a police officer has been identified by the then acting commissioner of police, the now deputy, even though he was satisfied that a police officer has been identified, he has not been charged for kidnapping?
Yeah, it's somewhat surprising. But again, you know, one of the questions that came invariably with this thing is who is being protected and why? Because we just saw recently where I think it was Easy Glen
Yes.
wheeling down a barrel with a body in it. Man, that thing was widely circulated to the point where it became common knowledge who it was wheeling down that barrel. Well, it's much the same with most other crimes of this type. Once there's a video, the video is automatically placed in the public purview so the public can assist in investigations. It's the hallmark of community policing. Because again, it goes against everything they have claimed to be building, the relationship with police and the community. Part of that relationship is mutualism. So the police does not have all the eyes and ears everywhere, but the public would be able to assist because you have more people in public with their cameras and what have you to be able to give information. So in a situation like this, where a crime has been committed, and clearly a crime was committed, Kabunda didn't go over there by himself. It was incumbent upon the authorities to make the video known to the public so that people can assist in identifying who all were there. Now, I'll tell you this. Those who were named in the claim, no letters have come to say that they are not there. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
The attorney further noted that the case is being handled. Budna, who has previously faced legal troubles in both Belize and neighboring Guatemala, maintains that his rights were infringed upon authorities, allegations that will soon be tested in the courtroom. In an update on the weekend's shocking prison escape in Guatemala, authorities have confirmed that 10 of the 20 high-profile inmates who slipped out of the maximum security prison have now been recaptured. All the escapees are members of the Barrio 18 gang, one of Central America's most feared criminal groups. Officials believe the men escaped gradually over the past 2 months, possibly during family visits. The breakout only came to light on Sunday, October 12th, when a recount of inmates exposed the missing prisoners. Among those rearrested is Byron Fajardo Revolorio, better known as Black Demon, who is serving a 180-year sentence. The fallout from the escape has already reached the highest levels of the Guatemalan government. On Wednesday, President Bernardo Arevalo accepted the resignations of Interior Minister Francisco Jimenez, along with his deputies responsible for drug enforcement and the prison system. Here in Belize, authorities are encouraging Belizeans to remain vigilant and report any suspicious individuals to the police. Coming up next, the BWSL embarks on 5-year tariff review process. Could consumers see a hike on water bill? Stay tuned.
Vacancy. 2 vacancies exist at Sugar City Medical Center. Nurse full-time. Requirements: ability to manage patients pre and post surgery, at least 2 years of experience, and bilingual. Pharmacist, full time. Requirements: experience in a hospital ward setting, at least 1 year of experience, and bilingual. If you are interested in joining our amazing team, send CV, recommendation letter, police record, and current license to sugarcitymedicalcenter@gmail.com. Deadline for applications October 31st, 2025.
Hoy te vamos a contar un cuento basado en una historia real. Chao Dengue. Capítulo 1. Síntomas del dengue. Había una vez una familia que, sin saberlo, llevaba consigo un visitante no deseado. No era un monstruo ni un fantasma, pero sí algo que podía debilitar su cuerpo y robarle la energía. Pronto llegaron la fiebre, acompañada de dolor de cabeza, principalmente detrás de los ojos, dolor de cuerpo, náuseas y un sarpullido que se enrojecía por su piel. ¿Qué debían hacer en ese momento? Lo primero era no caer en la automedicación. En la mente del padre resonaban las palabras de los expertos. La clave está en buscar ayuda temprana. Así que, sin dudarlo, se dirigió a la unidad de salud más cercana, donde le brindaron la atención necesaria. Pero la historia no termina ahí. Si alguien en su familia también enfrentaba la misma situación, era enviado a su hogar con una lista de recomendaciones para ser cuidado allí. El reposo se convertía en su mejor escudo y la hidratación en su arma más poderosa. Abundante líquido y, sobre todo, sales de rehidratación oral serían sus aliados en la recuperación. La familia aprendió que la acción temprana podía marcar la diferencia para que esta historia tenga un final feliz. Y colorín colorado, la salud hay que cuidarla en todos lados.
The new designs for Belize's new banknotes have been revealed. But why are only 2 national figures featured on the banknotes? The individuals honored on our new banknotes have received Belize's highest distinction, the Order of the National Hero. As of January 2025, only 2 persons have been awarded this title. The Right Honorable George Cadle Price, regarded as the father of the nation, who was the first Prime Minister of Belize and renowned leader in our road to independence, and the Honorable Philip Stanley Wilberforce Golson, one of the longest-serving members of the House of Representatives, known for his unwavering stance on protecting and preserving Belize. By featuring these heroes, we honor their invaluable contributions to the development of our nation. New look, same value, Heroes Legacy. Learn more at www.centralbank.org.bz. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
Introducing Manna Flour, the heart of every wholesome recipe. Manna Flour brings perfection, taste, and nutrition straight to your kitchen. Available in 2, 3, and 5-pound bags for everyday cooking, and 20, 50, and 100-pound sacks for bakeries, restaurants, and big family events. Whether you're making tortillas, dumplings, or your grandma's secret bread recipe, Manna Flour rises to the occasion. Pure, organic, Caribbean. Make it with Manna. Proudly produced by Caribbean Organic Foodstuff Company Limited.
a pleasure really for me to join you here today in an important milestone in Belize's journey towards sustainable transportation, where we officially hand over these 3 intercity buses to the management contractor will be the Westline Bus Company.
This project is directly aligned with Belize's raised ambition under its updated nationally determined contribution to the UN and its low emission development strategy. And we are very happy to support these national commitments and ensuring that Belize can meet its targets for climate action and for sustainable development as a whole, while modernizing its transport sector.
I'm happy that Westline was chosen as the first private partner of the government of Belize. We worked very hard in putting this project together. We think that it is about time that the transport industry in Belize improves.
We here, all of us, can share in the vision of one day in Belize very soon, in the next few years. We do not have to be subjected to a mediocre, substandard bus service for our people. One of the messages we'd want to take from here today is that when we work together, when we're not afraid to imagine and see that if we work together, we can turn these things into reality.
Is your internet struggling to reach every corner of your home? Say goodbye to dead zones. Introducing Villo, your ultimate solution for seamless internet coverage. Whether you're streaming, gaming, working from home, or scrolling through social media, Villo delivers a fast, reliable Wi-Fi where you need it most. As a valued Centaur internet customer, you can be one of the first to access Villo free of cost. For more information, call 380-0101.
In 2024, Belize experienced a troubling surge in road traffic accidents. The numbers were particularly alarming among motorcyclists, prompting authorities to tighten helmet laws and increase penalties for violations, aiming to curb the trend. On the law enforcement front, the Minister of Transport has been collaborating with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, to strengthen Belize's traffic laws. These discussions aim to improve enforcement mechanisms and address reckless driving practices, which have been identified as contributing factors to the recent spike in accidents. But enforcement challenges remain significant, as the year 2025 has also seen a share of fatal accidents, highlighting a continued trend of road safety concerns in the country. Contributing factors include speeding, reckless overtaking, poor road conditions, and a lack of safety gear such as helmets. The tragic consequences of these habits continue to underscore the urgent need for comprehensive safety measures and cultural change on Belize's roads, says the CEO in the Ministry of Transport, Chester Williams.
I am happy to say that we recently got on board legal counsel Sandra. I am happy to see that we recently got on board legal counsel Sambola. He is now a full-time member of our staff at our ministry, and he is working with myself, the minister and director, to look at the different legislative changes that we need to do to be able to make sure that we hold drivers who commit these infractions on a daily basis accountable for their actions. But one of the main issues that that currently confronts us is the issue of manpower. We are still waiting for approval to increase the number of our enforcement officers. We've said it before that the Department of Transport is not equipped with the right amount of human resources to be able to effectively conduct enforcement on our highways. And so that is a process that we're still going through. I am optimistic that very shortly we should be getting that approval, and we'll be able to maintain highway patrols for longer hours during the day and even nighttime, with the aim of making sure that we reduce the amount of traffic accidents on our highways.
Government of Belize GOB is overhauling its national transport system by launching a new consolidated bus company in early 2026 to improve efficiency and service. This includes upgrading and building new terminals in key cities like Belmopan, San Ignacio, Benqueviejo, Orange Walk, Corozal, Dangriga, Placencia, and Punta Gorda. The first phase will focus on cities in the Western Corridor, Belmopan, San Ignacio, Benqueviejo, followed by the Northern Corridor, Orange Walk, Corozal, and then the Southern Corridor, Dangriga, Placencia, and Punta Gorda. The modernization includes refurbishing existing terminals, with architectural plans being developed to guide the projects.
The terminals, as you would know, is managed by the government of Belize via the Department of Transport. And so we take it very seriously, myself and my minister, in making sure that we get the terminals that are standard where our commuters are going to feel that sense of dignity, that sense of pride when they enters the terminal or when they access any services that the terminals do offer. For example, in Belize City, I can say to you we have been struggling in trying to keep the bathroom facility in good repairs, but the bathroom facility is totally gone, to say the least. And keeping it in good repairs is costing a lot of money. And even though we're spending money on the terminal, on the bathrooms, it is still not working the way we want it to work. And so we are now proposing that we want to do away with that. And as a part of the terminal's rehabilitation program, we will construct new bathroom stalls in Belize City at the rear end of the terminal building. So that is going to alleviate the whole issue of the Belize City terminal, where commuters are not able to use a properly sanitized area to do their business. And then we look at the seating facilities. We had proceeded to change some of the chairs in Belize City. And if you all would notice that we have not changed the rest, it's not to say that we don't have the money. We have paid in full for all the chairs for the terminals. And they're with the store that we purchased them from, and we're waiting for the terminal to be fully rehabilitated before we install the new chairs. So the last time we went ahead and installed some of them without the rehabilitation, people said, well, why do it now? Why not wait until the rehabilitation is done? So we're taking the advice of the people, and we will wait until the rehabilitation is completed, then we'll install those new chairs. But again, we want to make sure that the experience of commuters will be good. We're looking at fully air conditioning the terminal, putting internet facilities, and you'll be able to use your Wi-Fi. You'll have the bus schedule on screens. They'll have ticket booths. You can buy your tickets. And again, we saw the concern where the commuter, the pregnant woman, who had a ticket, but the ticket had no seat assigned, which is utterly wrong, because we had given instruction to the bus operators that every ticket sold must have a seat assigned. And that was not being enforced, and I have given the Chief Transport Officer instructions again on Monday to make sure that he give the bus operators until October 15th to comply with the instructions, failing which we will take action.
The Belize Water Services Limited BWSL has embarked on a 5-year tariff review process. The utility company has submitted its comprehensive business plan to the Public Utilities Commission, PUC, outlining significant investments, operational strategies, and a proposed 20% increase in water rates. But what implications does this have for consumers across the country? BWSL plans to allocate approximately 130 million Belize dollars over the next 5 years towards infrastructure, upgrading, and expansions. Key projects include enhancements to sewer collection and treatment systems, water supply expansion, meter replacements, and ongoing capital renewal efforts. The funding for these initiatives is expected to come from a combination of tariff revenues, government support, and additional borrowing. Currently, BWSL supplies water to over 305,000 Belizeans, roughly two-thirds of the population. The company's latest report emphasizes the importance of climate resilience and water security, prioritizing measures to adapt to climate change, ensure consistent water supply, and promote environmental stewardship. The proposed rate increase aims to align production and distribution costs with the selling prices of water, ensuring the financial health of the utility while improving service and quality nationwide. The company asserts that without a tariff adjustment, it will struggle to sustain operations or fund the critical upgrades. As stated in the plan, given the level of capital expenditure required, BWS requires an estimated increase in the average tariff of 20%. Interestingly, consumers might not face uniformly higher bills. The company proposes a simplified tariff structure that reduces the number of consumptions blocks from 8 to 5 for both residential and non-residential customers. A new social customer block will also be introduced, targeting small households that use 600 gallons or less per month. Under this new scheme, all customers will retain a minimum charge based on 1,000 gallons of water. The social classification is defined as small residential households with an average water use of 600 gallons or less monthly solely for domestic purposes. This means households with lower water consumption could benefit from reduced rates, while those with higher usage will pay more. What's fueling these proposed changes? The short answer is financial difficulty. Despite efforts to improve efficiency, BWSL admits that it remains significantly cash-strapped due to inadequate revenue streams that cannot fully cover operational costs, debt obligation, and necessary investment. Rising operational costs, aging infrastructure, and economic challenges following the COVID-19 pandemic have exacerbated the situation. Factors such as inflation, increased fuel and energy prices, and growing demand in expanding communities have all contributed to the financial strain. Historically, BWSL has experienced several tariff adjustments. In 2010, a 12.2% increase was granted, followed by a 7.2% reduction in 2012. In 2014, a 6.9% rate hike was approved and came into effect in April 2015. More recently, the company sought tariff adjustments covering August 2022 to March 2025, citing pandemic-related constraints. However, that request was denied. Looking ahead, the PUC will review BWSL's plan before issuing a final decision. Its ruling is expected by March 2026, prior to the proposed rate hikes implementation in April. In the meantime, a public hearing has been scheduled for Friday, October 17, 2025 at 6 p.m. at the Biltmore Plaza in Belize City. During this session, BWSL will present its 5-year plan and attendees will have opportunities to provide feedback. Members of the public are encouraged to submit written comments on the proposed by October 30, 2025, either via email at info@puc.bz or in person at the PUC office. The PUC aims to issue its initial decision by November 14, 2025, with a final ruling to follow within 15 days if no objections are raised. Jeremy Enriquez, who sought to compel the Elections and Boundaries Commission to urgently conduct a redistricting exercise before any national elections could be conducted in accordance with the Constitution of Belize, was back in court on Friday. Enrique et al. Took 3 applicants to the Court of Appeal, and on Friday, all cases were dismissed.
I've wanted first to appeal for the recusal of Justice Ondora from all our cases based on the misconduct and the bias that we had reported to the Judicial and Legal Services Commission, for which we have not yet had any investigation or ruling. So that's another matter that we're dealing with. And we also applied for the removal of the wasted cost that Justice Ondora wanted to impose on us, the cost being about half of the expenses of the government to defend their case against us. That means they wanted us to pay for all the expenses for the private lawyers that they hired and all the other expenses. And thirdly, we appealed against the judgment of Justice Ondora based on the bias that we had reported for that case for the electoral injunction in Belize. So those three cases were dismissed, although we did not have any, we have not had yet any written judgment on the hearing by the judges. It was dismissed mainly because of technicalities again. I'm beginning to find out that every time we bring up a case, the substantive matter of the case has not yet been dealt with. And there are technicalities, for example, the perfected order had to be done by the registrar rather than being signed off by the judge himself. So that was another matter that we did not meet that technical requirement. But the substance of each of our cases were not really addressed.
But Enriquez is not giving up that easy. With the mind that justice is being denied, he says he will pursue his case.
By the mere fact that the status quo remains. The status quo is that a government knowingly called an election before redistricting, as they had consistently promised to do. And so where we had an election that was in violation of the Constitution, we will definitely take this all the way to the CCJ. As I said, justice has not been served. We're dealing with a lot of technical issues, while the core substantive issues remain. And we need, and if we continue like this, we will continue to erode the democracy of Belize and the democratic principles that are enshrined in our Constitution. And we must, as a citizen, I will have to see this through until justice is served.
The Office of the Ombudsman has issued a statement regarding a Freedom of Information (FOI) dispute involving social activist Jeremy Enriquez and the Attorney General's Department. Enriquez had sought access to information on the amount of public funds allocated for legal expenses in recent constitutional cases, including the identities of the attorneys involved. The Attorney General's office declined the request, citing confidentiality provisions under the FOI Act. In response, Enriquez filed a complaint with the Ombudsman, which has now completed its review. The office sent an official correspondence to the Attorney General's Department outlining its findings, legal considerations, and suggestions. The Ombudsman determined that the requested documents are not protected by exemption and are, in fact, part of a contractual agreement between the government and a private legal service provider. Additionally, the office emphasized that the FOI Act permits the release of partial information when a record contains both sensitive and non-sensitive data. The Ombudsman advised that the Attorney General's Department should consider releasing some of the information, and while it remains to be seen whether the department will adhere to this recommendation, Enriquez says if the AG does not comply, he will seek legal recourse.
I do not see why the AG would refuse to be transparent and accountable to the people of Belize for using the monies of the people of Belize to fight this case that is in the interest of the people of Belize. So I expect that the Attorney General will follow through with the recommendation of the Ombudsman to provide the information. If not, then we take it further to court, definitely. It is the right of the people to know how their monies are being spent to fight against their interests. We need to know that, and it is the people's money that is being used for hiring private firms. And therefore, it is well in line with the Freedom of Information Act that they must provide that information.
And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Get the most out of your internet with Centaur's ExpressNet. Are you ready to supercharge your online experience? When connecting to your Velo Mesh device, make sure you're linked to our blazing fast 5 GHz frequency. Why 5 GHz? Faster speeds at a shorter range. 5 GHz is perfect for use in smaller spaces where speed is your top priority. As for the 2.4 GHz, while connection may travel farther, it can lead to slower performance. Remember, choose 5 GHz for your devices and experience the difference instantly. ExpressNet, bringing you the best speeds for the ultimate online experience. For more information, contact us at 380-0101.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today for quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
Oh man, one more stroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data, so you can scroll till your fingers cramp.
Enjoy free social media data now included in our Flex Choice and Select postpaid plans.
Visit any smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
The government of Belize joined delegates from across the Americas at the 20th American Regional Meeting, AMRM, of the International Labour Organization, ILO, held from October 1st to the 3rd, 2025, under the theme Advancing Decent Work, Social Justice and Inclusive Development. Belize's delegation was led by Honorable Ferencia Marin Jr., Minister of Rural Transformation, Community Development, Labor and Local Government, accompanied by Valentino Schall, Chief Executive Officer, and Brisela Dominguez-Pat, Labor Commissioner. Representing employers was Kim Aikman, Chief Executive Officer of the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry, BCCI, while Ella Waite, President of the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, NTUCB, represented workers. The tripartite meeting brought together over 300 participants, including ministers, senior officials, and leaders of workers and employers' organizations, to discuss key issues shaping the world of work and to set shared priorities for the future of decent work in the region. At the conclusion of the meeting, delegates adopted the Punta Cana Declaration, a landmark commitment by government, employers, and workers to promote democracy, peace, social dialogue, and decent work as pillars of sustainable and inclusive development in the Americas. The declaration identifies key regional priorities for the ILO and its constituents, including job creation and social protection for all, strengthening democratic institutions and respect for fundamental rights, promoting sustainable enterprises and a just transition towards resilient societies, advancing gender equality, living wages, and national care policies, and supporting the transition from informal to formal employment. The Punta Cana Declaration aligns with the ILO's strategic plan for 2026-2029 and the ILO Centenary Declaration for the Future of Work, reaffirming the importance of tripartism and social dialogue in addressing challenges such as informality, inequality, technological change, and climate impacts on employment. The Christian Workers Union CWU held its annual general meeting this past weekend at the Secretariat in Belize City, electing new leadership and discussing future planning. Guest speaker Corinne Fuller gave a talk on retirement plan, advising members to save regularly, track expenses, and consider part-time work or small investments to secure income after retirement. Leonora Flowers was re-elected president, joined by First Vice President Ella Waite, Second Vice President Colleen Hamilton, Treasurer Anwar Juan, and organizer Tricia Pelayo. Trustees include Jeffrey Trapp, James Neal, and Nelson Young. Former First Vice President Antonio Heredia was appointed Special Advisor to the CWU Board, replacing former President Evan Mose Hyde. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Thursday, October 16th here on Ctv3 News and Face FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com, Ctv3 Belize News, or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.